Hello, everybody, and welcome to our roundup for week 3 in a fresh year of freedom. It's so lovely to have people with us on the roundup live, and we really appreciate that. We also really appreciate those of you who jump on and watch the replay afterwards. So either way, welcome. And I'm delighted to have had so many responses in this week's poll to tell us all how you're going. Now, it's really cool when we see the good responses that everything is working well, but it actually gives us a little bit more meat to work with when we understand where things haven't yet landed so brilliantly for you. So I'm super happy when you're saying, I'm there, I'm just hanging on in and I'm swinging on round and it's all going perfectly. But it's also really great to understand that some of you are still having challenges around your sleeping patterns, so that we can work as we go through this week and encourage a little bit extra into how we can get better sleep. Because of course, week 4 is all about environment. And so what we're looking at are the conditions in which you find yourself and the conditions that are inside of yourself. Because we often think of environment as only being our surroundings. Well, in my case this morning, something has happened to my neck on this side around the occipital, and I'm in deep pain, especially if I move. So as long as I'm focused on the camera, we're fine. But if my head has to go anywhere else, it's not so good. So I might be lifting my notes up because looking up and looking down is hurting, looking left and looking right is hurting. So from an environment perspective, we're looking at the fact that my environment's exactly the same as it's always been. I'm very lucky to be here in New Zealand summer, a little bit of rain this morning, but nothing that we really can't deal with. I've got nature just outside my door, and I've got a family who are around to support me with helping the things that I can't do today. But internally, I'm living in a little bit of pain because I got a lot of twinges and spasms going on in the right side of my neck. So that environment and everything that we've got inside us and around us makes a huge difference in everything that we're doing. Somebody messaged me this week and said, I've got my cycle and I can't believe how much hormones are knocking me off track and making me want to eat. So of course, if you've been in that situation yourself in the last couple of weeks, you'll be able to resonate with that completely. But what happens if you're, for example, heading back into work and the people around you are also unsupportedly knocking you somewhat off track? Because arguments can happen at any time. And that can be within your family, it can be within your work environment, it could be with your closest friend. One of the difficulties we have when our people around us knock us off track is that can often be unexpected. So what we've got coming up this week are quite a few good things that are all about helping you to look at what's going on around you, to add in some extra goodies where we can, but also to think about what's going on inside you and how you can help yourself. So let me give you an indication of what's coming. Wrong paper. This is the correct paper. Indication of what's coming. Alrighty. So we've got happening Monday evening in the UK, 8:30 p.m, Tuesday morning here in New Zealand, the emotional release process and how you can sort out some of your hidden burdens. The funny thing is the person that's leading that session is me. So what hidden burden have I got going on here? So I'm going to be playing a game with you and showing you a process that we can do to really address that challenge. On Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. in the UK, which is Thursday, 9:30 a.m. here in New Zealand, we've got Tai Chi and Qigong with Tamara. And that's an awesome way of just slowing on down and making sure that whatever environment you find yourself in, you're giving yourself space. Amazing way to go. Now, on Wednesday at 12 p.m. in the UK, which is the middle of the night for us here in New Zealand, so potentially less people on this side of the ocean who are going to be timing in live, but we've got incorporating ferments. So that's Get Pickled Somerset helping us out again. We love what she does with us. And then on Thursday, 8:30 p.m. UK, 9:30 a.m. in New Zealand, we've got Sarah Jane Crooks, who is going to be talking to us about creating ritual space. All those tiny little things that you can add in to your day or your evening that are going to help you to find that space again inside as well as outside of yourself. So those are the lives that we've got going that I'm aware of. There could be some extras because Ali and I, with her being away for her birthday, haven't caught up entirely. I do believe there's something hypnotherapy going on, but I'm not certain when. But we've also got some recordings coming up too. The session with Donna that you've all been waiting for on Twerk, that's nearly ready to hit the ground. We've got something coming up on intermittent fasting for you. That'll be posted this week as well. Barb is going to be speaking to us all about another perspective of EFT, and I know she's got a special course that she's going to be offering running through February, where you can all join live on the internet to be with her as well. We've got ongoing Zumba. Zumba is with Juliet, and we've also got Pilates with Lauren. They are ongoing online sessions. And we've got another session that we're recording this afternoon, which is Leela Banks and myself. We're going to be doing that one together. And that's going to be about getting into nature, the benefits of getting out there, for grounding, circadian rhythms, all those amazing things. So whether you're in New Zealand, where the weather is pretty okay at the moment because it's summertime, or you're over in the UK where it's not so good with rain and in some areas snow, there are still ways to get back out into nature and to look at what you can do for yourself to ensure that your outside surroundings are as good as the ones you're working on the inside, which is pretty awesome stuff. Now, we've had some challenges showing up in the poll on people's sleep patterns. So consider sleep routines. It's something that Katya and Ali did address in their presentation this last week. So if you haven't yet watched that, you'll want to get back on and watch the replay and figure out the things that you can do to help yourself with your sleeping. Certainly here in New Zealand, we're running a fan in the bedroom at nighttime because it is still warm overnight. But if you're on the other side of the world, it may be that you need a bedtime routine that's incorporating some warmth and just allowing you to relax. No blue screen time, just chill out before bed. I'm certainly sleeping quite a bit more at the moment and taking nana naps so I can just allow my body to fully relax. Now, I've got one other thing that I wanted to include for you today before I jump offline and rest up a little bit more before this afternoon's recording session. I read an article this week that was in the New York Times, and it was absolutely delightful about the joys of community and how we help each other. One of the things I was really pleased to see in the poll was every single vote saying how much our WhatsApp chat is helping people to stay attached, joined up together and moving forwards through difficulties, and how the resources that we're putting here online are giving you places to go when you're looking for new ideas. So this article that I was reading, and I apologize in advance for anybody in the Jewish community who's part of our team if I mangle the words now, but it's actually about a text that comes from the Mishnah in the 3rd century. And this text is, the wording is M-I-D-D-O-T. So I'm going to pronounce that Middo, but it might be Midot 2.2. And it's about a pilgrimage ritual from the time of the Second Temple. And in this pilgrimage ritual, Jews would come together at Temple Mount in Jerusalem. They would climb the steps and enter the plaza. Now, once you entered the plaza, you would either turn right and begin to circle clockwise, or you would turn left and circle, I beg your pardon, you would circle counterclockwise, or you would turn left and you would circle clockwise, meaning that you would be meeting people on your walk around the plaza. Now, how did that divide out? Oh, sorry, just 1 second, big spasm. There we go. Those who were turning right are those where everything was going well, where things were positive in their world. Those who were turning left were the broken-hearted, the mourners, the lonely, or the sick. And as they would meet, the question that would be posed is, what has happened to you? Why does your heart ache? So that those who were sad, who were unwell, who were lost, could explain what had happened for them. And then the other person in the fortunate position could offer them a blessing. May the Holy One comfort you. You are not alone. Now, of course, an annual pilgrimage means that we're going to return every year. Sometimes we're going to be the positive, the up, the full-hearted, and other times we're going to have experienced difficulties. We're going to be in that sad or lost position. But the story is about how coming together we're able to help each other. And the two things that I took from the story were, one, that we should always be showing up no matter where we are, because we can either be reaching out in our strength or we can be stepping forward in our vulnerability. Both of those positions are necessary, but also so powerful when they come together. But the second thing that I took away from this was that by turning towards each other, it allows us to find our way together. And that's what we set out, Ali and I, when we brought this community together for a fresh year of freedom. That's what we set out to do. There's now 400 people joining together in our Facebook group. There's 100 of us online in the WhatsApp chat. And the days where it's not perhaps going so well physically or emotionally or mentally are the days when I encourage you to reach out. And the days when it is going fantastically, when you've found an amazing recipe, when you've discovered a new way of movement, when you've found a beautiful sunset just outside your door, those are the times when I encourage you to reach out, because together we're making something that's helping all of us on the good days and the bad days. And that's how we're all reaching our freedom. So thank you so much to Sarah Jane for joining me live today. Thank you to those of you who are going to be watching our replay. It's going up in both the WhatsApp group and the Facebook once I have got the recording processed. And thank you to all of you, each and every one of you, for being there. I am going to switch off our recording, and then if we've got questions, feel free to message Ali, myself, or each other, because we all have so much goodness to offer. Bear with me, looking down is sore.